What's up, you guys, and welcome back to yet another r/slash real talk video with your boy RT and my dude Dale. You guys, today we're gonna dive into some real talk and my the ahole stories where OP tells her daughter she shouldn't even bother to go to college. You guys, I don't know about y'all, but that just sounds all sorts of disrespectful. But let's see OP's point of view and perspective on this particular situation, y'all. So without any further ado, Dale, let's dive into it, buddy.
Back when I was into cosplay, I got a tattoo of the Dark Mark. I was and still am a huge Harry Potter fan. At the time, I figured it would be easier to get a tattoo done instead of having to redraw it or mess with temporary tattoos every time I wanted to cosplay as Bellatrix Lestrange. Since then, I've gotten many more tattoos. People tend to notice the Dark Mark more than the rest. I volunteer at an animal shelter. It's been hot, so I've been wearing short sleeves and sleeveless tops to work. There's no rule saying that I can't. However, I had a coworker, Tori, pull me aside, and she told me that I had to wear a long-sleeved shirt or cover up my tattoos if we have to work together. We live in New Mexico, which is hotter than Satan's sauna right now. I told them no because I want to feel cool and comfortable. Then I asked why. Tori said it's because they don't feel comfortable working with someone who shows off a hate symbol, my Dark Mark tattoo, on my arm on the daily. I told them I'd consider it on condition that they cover up their own tattoo. Tori has a prominent Empire tattoo on their arm. I'm no Star Wars fan, but I come from a family who are. From what I understand, the Empire committed just as many war crimes, if not more than Voldemort and his crew. At least Voldemort didn't order a planet to be destroyed. Personally, I am proud of myself for telling Tori off like that. I think they're really hypocritical, narcissistic, and just an unpleasant person to deal with in general. But when I brought up the story over drinks with some other volunteers later, they didn't agree. They mostly thought that my tattoo has more serious implications than Tori's, and apparently Tori has been looking to get that Empire tattoo removed or covered up as they've come to seriously regret it. What are your thoughts?
You guys, there is one statement that needs to be made about this entire thing. And matter of fact, I'm going to just simplify it down to one word that needs to be said about this entire situation. Childish. This entire situation is extremely childish, y'all. You guys, I want y'all to think about this, all right? Two grown adults that are trying to figure out if their fictional tattoos are offensive. It's fake. It's not real. It's from two of the world's largest and most well-loved franchises. And people are arguing as to whether they're offensive or not. I mean, in the realm of Harry Potter, yes, the death mark is not something that you want to be associated with. But that's if Harry Potter was real, you guys. It's a fictional story. I've got a huge Harry Potter tattoo. I absolutely love it. It's got various elements in it, from Lord Voldemort to Harry Potter to the Deathly Hallows. I mean, to Hogwarts itself. It's got a bunch of elements in it. But you know what? Again, it's fiction. I've got a Courage the Cowardly Dog tattoo. It was one of my favorite shows growing up as a kid. You know, I do think this. I think that if people were to get tattoos that were really offensive to real human beings, real ethnic groups, real racial groups, real, faith-based groups, if there were tattoos that were associated in a derogatory way to these real racial groups, these real ethnic groups, these real faith-based groups, these real social groups, like you would not want to walk around with these types of offensive tattoos because they affect real people and real situations that have happened. However, the death mark, that might have been offensive to, Harry Potter and all his folks, all his people there at Hogwarts, people who were not associated with Lord Voldemort. The Empire tattoo might be offensive to, Luke Skywalker and the Rebellion and all of those individuals, in the Star Wars universe. However, this is the real world, you guys. This is stupid. This is silly. I don't get it. It's not that serious. So, those are my thoughts on that. You guys might disagree, and if you disagree, that's perfectly fine. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Also, while you're down there, you guys, let me know if you guys have a tattoo or tattoos, and let me know which one is your absolute favorite. What's your favorite tattoo that you guys have? Next story, you guys.
I returned home very hungry after a long, stressful day at work. I ate some of the leftover food which my girlfriend ordered. She was so angry that I ate it and thinks I don't care about or think about her. She thinks I stole her $50 food. I spend around $1,000 to $1,500 every month on taking her to restaurants and takeout. We just got back from a $6,000 South American trip, paid for completely by me. Am I the a-hole for eating her food? Edit. She is the one who mentioned money first. I did not mention the money that I spent in my argument with her. Edit 2. I come from a culture where sharing food is love. She is from a different culture.
So I didn't go to Yale. I didn't go to Harvard. I didn't graduate from an Ivy League school. I did graduate with my college degree from a university. So, I am educated. I do have a smidgen of knowledge in my cranium somewhere. And in the midst of all of that knowledge that I do have, there is one thing that I know to be fact and not fiction. And that is, you never mess with a woman and her food. You never come in between a woman and her food. OP, you done messed up. You done messed up now with this particular situation, taking her food, eating her food. Now, in your defense, I feel like her claims that you don't love her because you ate her food, that's a bit of a stretch, okay? To equate love with not eating one's food, that's a bit strange, and that's a large stretch. It's a huge stretch, in my opinion. To say that you stole her $50, that's also a stretch. I assume that being that it's leftovers, she probably ate, let's just say at least half. Let's just say she ate half of her food. All right, so you ate half of it. She ate half of it. That's $50 divided by 2. That's $25. So you ate $25 worth, and she ate $25 worth of food. Okay, so sure, we could say you stole $25 worth of food. Doesn't sound like you asked for permission, because I'm sure if you asked, you wouldn't be writing up here, or you would have specified that. As well as your girlfriend probably would have not complained about you eating the food if you had asked. So, OP, you did mess up by eating your girl's leftover food. Now, who's to say that your girl didn't come home from a long day's work and she ordered some food and got that to get home, and she enjoyed her food? Then she's in the same boat as you are, both working, both tired, both hungry. So, I'll say this. You didn't necessarily have the right to go and eat her food. You didn't have the right just to devour it. Regardless of what your culture is, you didn't have the right to do that without asking. If that's a part of your culture, that's cool. I think that's interesting. I'd be interested in learning more about that particular culture and just y'all's ideology around sharing food. And if that's the way that you like doing things, you should have verbalized that that's how you and your culture operate, and that's how you do things within the home that you reside in. And I'm sure your girlfriend would be understanding, and she might put some boundaries up and say, hey, don't do that to my food. Okay, I appreciate it. I get it. I understand it. But I would appreciate it even more if you did not do that with my food that I purchased, unless I give you permission. So you're a bit of an a-hole for eating your girlfriend's food without giving her permission. Your girlfriend's a bit excessive. She's a bit excessive for saying that you don't love her and that you stole her $50 when she probably ate some of the food. So, it was probably less than $50 that you quote unquote stole by eating her food. You just messed up with this one, dude. Like, you don't go take her out to a nice dinner. Even that probably won't help, because sometimes females just, they don't like it when you take their food. That's all I can say. You messed up, OP. You're a bit of an a-hole. Your girlfriend's a bit excessive. This is just a dangerous situation here. I hope you guys are still together, though. Hopefully food wasn't the issue that tore you guys apart.
This is a throwaway account. I am a 35-year-old female, and I have a 16-year-old daughter. My daughter has a late birthday in early to mid-December, so she is going into her senior year in high school. She is a very smart girl, and I'm proud of what she's accomplished. But she's also young and naive in a lot of ways. She's easily manipulated. She doesn't pay much attention to her surroundings. She can't stand up for herself. She constantly still calls or texts myself and her father for help with things. More recently, I've also been concerned about her doing dangerous things or submitting to peer pressure from her friends. I've met them and they are not good kids. I've told her to stop talking to them, but she refuses and tries to go behind my back. For these reasons, among others, her father and I have decided that we are not going to let her go off to college as long as she's a minor under our care. This means that she won't be going in the fall of 2024 because she doesn't turn 18 until that December. I am not trying to stifle her, but I do want her to be safe. She was recently talking about starting to fill out college applications, and I told her not to bother. I explained that we weren't letting her go until she's old enough to make that decision for herself. She started crying and yelling at me, but I refused to budge. I don't think I'm being unreasonable, and honestly, her reaction is more evidence of immaturity. But apparently she texted her aunt, who has been calling me an a-hole. So am I the a-hole? Edit. People seem to think that I will not allow her to go to college at all. I am absolutely willing to let her go to college once she's 18, and we will pay for it wherever she wants to go. We have the means.
So OP added a very crucial and important piece of information at the very end of the story, okay? OP's daughter is not 18 yet. She's a minor. So that means that she is still technically not an adult yet. So if OP and OP's husband desire to not allow their unaccompanied minor to go off to college somewhere, they are justifiably in the right. They can do that if they so choose. Now, do you like it? Probably not. Does OP's daughter like it? Absolutely not. However, I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to make sure that their daughter is prepared for the real world. When you send your children off to college or university or, trade school or the military, whatever it is, you want to be sure that they are prepared for what the real world is going to present to them. And from what it sounds like, OP's daughter is not prepared for the real world. The real world doesn't care if you're going to shed some tears if you don't get your way. The real world is going to chew you up, spit you out, and tell you to deal with it. So, I completely agree with protecting your kids and doing what you got to do to make sure that they, are set up in a situation where they will be successful in whatever it is that they decide to pursue in life. And in this case, OP and OP's husband are doing what they feel is necessary for their daughter to be successful in life. And you don't have to agree. I don't have to agree. All we should be doing is respecting the fact that they at least want their daughter to be successful. And whether the daughter realizes it or not, she will later down the road be more appreciative of the fact, or she should be appreciative of the fact that that her parents really want her to be prepared, and they want her to do her very best, and they feel like this is what's best for her to be able to go out and take on the real world in the very best way that she possibly can. So, OP, I do not think that you're the a-hole, or your husband is the a-hole for telling your daughter that she can't go to college and to not worry about applying. I'm sure that if there was a local community college there by OP and OP's daughter, I'm sure that, OP and OP's husband would be perfectly fine with their daughter attending that, community college that is right around the corner. That way the daughter can stay home and they can kind of keep her under their supervision, as well as she can continue to pursue her education. However, that may not be the case. So, again, you got to do what you feel is best for your kids when it comes to preparing them for what is known as the real world. I feel like there are way too many people who walk out into the real world that are not ready, that are not prepared, that do not know how to deal with or how to tackle the issues that come with being an adult in the real world. And part of that comes back to, what's taught in the classroom, what's taught in schools, what's, emphasized. That's what is most important. in our educational system. That's a whole nother conversation for another day, but I feel like that's a huge part of it. So being that has somewhat failed us as a country, as a society, then it comes back down to the parents to make sure that they do what's necessary to help their children to be prepared, both in knowledge, both emotionally, spiritually, mentally, skill-wise. I mean, there are levels to it. So, OP, I do not think that you're the a-hole for your decision. Chances are I would probably make the same call, as much as I may not like it and would really prefer that my child, be in a certain space to be able to continue to grow in their education. You got to make sacrifices for what you feel is going to set your children up for success. But I could be wrong, you guys. Y'all, let me know what your thoughts are about this particular story. Do you think that OP is in the wrong for telling her daughter not to apply to colleges? Do you think that OP and OP's husband are in the right for their decision to protect their child and to keep them home from going to college because they don't feel like she is prepared? Whatever you guys think, y'all, drop down into the comment section. Let me know y'all's thoughts and opinions on today's stories, as well as if you guys have enjoyed today's stories, please be sure to hit that like button as well as the subscription button, and then go ahead and smash that bell notification icon. That way you guys are notified every single time that I upload a brand new video here for the community, y'all. You guys, I hope y'all have enjoyed today's Real Talk Stories, and until next time, y'all, many blessings and much love, y'all.